What if I were to tell you the greatest Cantonese food isn't found in New York, but in Canada? Today, I'm finally here in Vancouver, trying what is allegedly the best Cantonese food in North America. Hi, this is Arthur from the Minute Review Show. If you have a minute, I have an opinion. We're visiting Jade Seafood Restaurant, one of many large Cantonese restaurants in the Vancouver area. With Cantonese food arguably fading in New York, I'm coming to Vancouver with great anticipation. Will today's meal live up to my high expectations? Come join me and let's see. Hi, this is Arthur from the Minute Review Show, and today I'm in Richmond, British Columbia, near Vancouver, and this is my first time ever eating at a restaurant in Canada. As you know, my channel is mainly based in New York City, and I'm really excited to try the Cantonese food out here. In fact, Canada is known as the Cantonese haven for Chinese food. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to eat at this place, and this place is called Jade Seafood Restaurant. It's really funny because lately I've been eating at a lot of Chinese restaurants called Jade. So we're going to order some food here. Right now, this is the tail end of the dim sum rush. You're given a menu like this. In front of the menu, you have all the dim sums, and on the back of the menu, you have some of the food that is the kitchen type food. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to order the kitchen type food, the dinner type food, because we got here pretty late. So I can't wait to show you the type of stuff that they have here. Here's a look at their dim sum menu. In the front, you have the steamed dim sum, and all of them are about $9.99 to $11.99. Here's their deep fried dim sum section. Here's their rice roll section, and here's their dessert section. These are all pretty much New York City type prices. So yeah, no surprise there. We also have the back of the menu. Now this is the lunch menu in lunch sizes. They're smaller, so the prices are less. So you have the healthy section, low carb section. You have the comfort food, chef's choices, vegetarian, congee, noodles and soup, and fried rice and noodles. These are the dishes that we ended up ordering. They're all in Chinese, but you're gonna find out very soon what they are. We ordered the salt and pepper Vancouver crab. Now, we're near Vancouver, we're in Richmond, and this is the local thing. I wanted to try local seafood. So, what we have here is a 2.5 pound Vancouver crab, and just take a look at it. There's probably gonna be a lot of meat under that shell. There are a lot of legs. The legs actually are pretty big. Let's take a look here. You can see that this piece is about 2.5 inches. This is about 3/4 inch thick. So they appear to be pretty meaty. You look at the piece under the shell at the end of the legs. That's another big meaty part. Over here you have the claws. And another thing that they do in addition to the salt and pepper is the garlic. So you can see the garlic right here. Yeah, this is a pretty substantial portion. I believe they told me that this was about $45 a pound, 45 Canadian. So that would probably come out to be about 33 US. So can't wait to give this a try. The first item that came to our table is the Vancouver crab. I'm so excited because we are actually in Vancouver. So this is what it looks like. They chop it up into different pieces. So let's try the end of this leg, this crab leg. Wow. First thing that hits me is that whatever pepper they're using, I think it's white pepper, it's actually a spicy. There's actually heat in this. Normally white pepper doesn't have that much heat, but there's some heat in this. So now this is super fresh. I'm telling you, I've had this in New York City. It's not like this. The meat over here, you see the white meat right here? It's really flaky, super flaky. And there's also that slipperiness of it that tells me that it's super fresh. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. What they've done is that they cracked the leg. So let's crack it open and see what's inside. And as you can see, there's a lot of nice white meat on the inside. So let's break some of this apart and give it a try. That piece of meat that's inside the leg is exactly like the meat that's at the end of the leg. Really stringy, really fresh, tastes delicious. Absolutely wonderful. The salt is not overly salty, so perfect balance between the two types of peppers, the white pepper and the salt. So yes, the main thing that I ask for in a dish like this is the freshness of the crab, and this delivers. This makes me love Vancouver that much more. This is what the bottom of the shell looks like. You can actually eat these pieces right here. So we're going to dig some of that out and give that a try. You may be asking, what am I holding in my hand? I am holding the crab shell. Some people just leave this alone, but for us Chinese people, we don't leave it alone. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to dig out some of this crab shell meat. Here it goes. It looks a bit yellow. For those of you who don't know about this, this is actually pretty tasty. When you deep fry it and stir fry it, it has a very strong umami, almost like if you tried sea urchin, it's almost like eating sea urchin. So let's give this a try. Now, the difference between that and sea urchin is that it's a little more bitter, but it's still good. For those who want the seafood essence, this one is fully cooked, which it should be, delicious, and they did it just right. You can see that the entire shell has been deep fried. The next dish I ordered is the halibut with soy sauce in a clay pot with ginger and onion. Now, just take a look at that. The halibut is deep fried. There's some darkness in it, which is probably the soy. It smells really savory and also aromatic. I do not see pieces of garlic in here, but with the onion, that should be enough. So I really can't wait to give this a try. Take a look at that beautiful color inside that clay pot. The next dish I'm going to try is the halibut in soy sauce. Now, the halibut is cut into these little strips, and it's kind of dark. There's some soy sauce on it. And also, I noticed that there appears to be some basil leaves on it. So let's give this a try. The halibut, I believe, is a deep water fish, so it's a more dense fish. But somehow they treated the fish, or they cooked it in a way that is not too dense, not too hard. Yeah, and they left the skin on, so you can have some of that fish skin fat to give it a nice chew. This is delicious. I also noticed that they gave entire pieces of ginger that was fried into it. The ginger flavor really penetrated into the meat, along with the sweetness. They put some sugar in there, so it's like a sweeter dish. But this is actually really good. I mean, I really thought that the fish would actually be a little more dense and a little drier, but no, this is actually very moist. Let's try a second piece to confirm that. No, that's true. The second piece is just as juicy as the first one. So yeah, it was excellent. We have a whole piece of ginger. Let's try this. Yeah, even the ginger is sweet. So, oh no, the dish is really good. I really like the way that they prepared that halibut. So, although the dish is a little smaller than usual, it's about a 7-inch dish. It's kind of deep, about 3 inches. So, yeah, you're getting a decent amount of halibut for about, I think about 18 Canadian dollars. So, it's not bad. The next dish that we ordered is the fried sticky rice. Now, this particular fried sticky rice is really good. You can see the Chinese sausage right there, some eggs, and plenty of soy sauce in this one. This is much darker than normal fried sticky rice, but we're in Canada. They might make it different here. There's some scallions and perhaps some other bits that I can't see, but I'm gonna give it a try and let you know what it's like. The next dish that I'm going to try is the sticky rice. This stir-fried sticky rice, I really love this dish. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to give this a try. That's interesting. This particular sticky rice actually has a buttery flavor. Very different from the ones that I had in New York. Now, I'm digging around a little bit, and all I see are the eggs and the lap turang, or the Chinese sausage. Let's see if there's anything else in here. Okay. The only other item that I identified is the mushroom, and the sticky rice itself. It's very interesting. It seems to be a combination of long grain and sticky rice, because some of these grains are actually pretty long grain. I can visually see it. So this is a different way of implementing this dish, of creating this dish. This one is basically a combination of long grain and regular sweet sticky rice. So it's a bit different. A little of that buttery flavor, not too salty, has that soy flavor. So yeah, I like this. This isn't bad at all. The next dish that we ordered is yu choy and bean curd in fish soup. The bean curd is this thing, and this is what you call, I believe, fuzhou. And over here, here's your yu choy, which is your Chinese greens. And the reason why the soup looks very milky is because it's a fish soup. So this particular dish is very classically Cantonese because in many types of Cantonese vegetable dishes, they would add a soup to the vegetables. So we're gonna give this a try. It looks really nice. Okay, the next dish we ordered is the yu choy and bean curd in the fish soup. First thing I'm going to do is try the bean curd. Here it goes. It is amazing. Look at that bean curd. This is fresh bean curd. Normally when you eat bean curd, it's the type that's dried and reconstituted in water, but this is fresh bean curd. Wow. It's amazing. Tastes like really nice, simple tofu. Very pleasant to chew. And yeah, I love the flavor. It takes the flavor of that fish soup. Next thing that we're going to eat is the yu choy. Now this is a pretty big piece, and this one has many stalks of green coming out of it. So let's try this. Very fresh. Just as good as anything you would get in New York. Very delicious. Next, let's try the soup. Now the soup has this really milky color to it. Let's try it. Wow. That soup is so silky smooth. It has that white color from a fish that's being boiled into a soup, and it imparts that nice milky, velvety soup base to the soup, and is perfectly salted, not too salty. And also, once again, it imparts that fish flavor into the vegetables and into the tofu. That dish is implemented super well, and it's not a kind of dish that you would find in every restaurant in New York City, Cantonese restaurant. So it's kind of special. I kind of like that one. And yeah, since I'm out here, why not try the things that you can't get back home? I ordered the ifu noodles. Ifu noodles is a very simple dish. You just have the noodles here, which are the reconstituted fried noodles. You also have the mushrooms, which is over there. And then you have some white chives, some yellow chives over there. And I don't see anything else. We ordered this as a mushroom ifu noodle. So this is what it looks like. The next dish I'm going to try is the mushroom yimin, or the mushroom ifu noodle. So this is what it looks like. It looks like standard ifu noodle. For those who don't know what ifu noodle is, it's the deep fried noodle, but reconstituted when it's stir fried. So it has a very jiggly texture. So let's try this. Okay, the flavor is very neutral. In fact, I feel that it might be a little undersalted. The shiitake mushrooms, let's give this a try. Okay, fresh shiitake mushrooms, not bad. On scale 1 to 10, I would have liked it to be salted up to an 8, but this might be salted up to a 6. But noodles are fine. They're standard ifu noodles, done well. So yeah, it's a very simple dish, maybe only 2 to 3 ingredients, but it's just okay. And now's the time for your favorite part of the show. Ta-da, the star of the show. And today, the star of the show is located from the place that I'm visiting. And what I mean by that, the star of the show today is the local ingredient, and that is the Vancouver Dungeness crab. Wow, that crab was amazing. I mean, we get those in New York City, but when you're getting it from local waters, the texture of the meat is totally different. It's more slippery, it's more flaky. It just tastes fresher. So all I can say is that the price that we paid for that crab is fair for local standards. And also, it's going to be, to me, it's about the same price as what we would pay in New York City. So yeah, that crab was excellent. I really enjoyed what we had. Because we're in Vancouver and in Richmond, that's the star of the show. The meal is over, and this was an amazing meal. This is the first time I've ever eaten at a Chinese restaurant in British Columbia. I chose a restaurant in Richmond. I did that because I knew that there was a heavy migration of Hong Kongers back in 1997 into this area. And it showed, because when I was in this restaurant, all the people around me were speaking Cantonese. So yeah, it's definitely serving a local crowd, a local Cantonese speaking crowd. I mean, literally everyone was speaking Cantonese. The funny thing was that when we got here, they didn't think that I would speak Cantonese. Maybe I don't look too Chinese, but in any case, when I started speaking a little Chinese, a little Cantonese, then they started speaking to me in Cantonese. That was really great. So if you have a chance, I think this is one of many, many Cantonese establishments in Richmond and in Vancouver to come to. Their food here is excellent, and also the surroundings, the dining room is nice and big, super comfy. So yes, I enjoyed my first visit to any restaurant in Richmond and Vancouver. Yeah, this is definitely one that you might want to try. The final bill before tip is $223.61. After, it was $262.